the first week, today will be the last day for business English. The first week we did presentations, sort of how to present, and we did like a little activity where everyone presented their what do you call it, businesses or entrepreneurial efforts. And the second day we did letter writing, report writing, and Mr. Jude, I'm going to mute you for a bit because there's a lot of background noise. I hope that's okay for a bit. Okay, right. So on the second day, we did report writing, business emails, business letters. And today I thought we'll do pitching. I can't mute Mr. Oh, right. Anyway, so I thought in the syllabus it says pitching. So we'll be doing pitching today, but are we ready to go? Are we okay?
Yeah.
Right. Nazria and Jude, I hope you all are okay. So this is for Dr. Arva, because remember we had an issue, whether the title comes before or after the salutation. I did a bit of research, and apparently it can be either way. So it depends on the format that you use. All right? Okay. So Jude and Nazria, are we all right so far?
Yes, ma'am. We are all right.
Right. Okay. You don't have to call me ma'am. Just call me Keshani. Malshani should be fine. Okay. So hold on. Now let's look at pitching. Can anyone tell me what pitching is? What's pitching?
Pitching is for what you basically do a presentation kind of a thing to introduce your services or products to your clients, kind of.
That's right. Yes. And also when you want investors to come in, or something like that, or when you're trying to merge or expand, things like that, right? I think Arva was going to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say pitching is something like a small introduction to your business or your profile to attract either a customer or a partner or a investor.
Yeah, exactly. So a pitching has to be like on spot, because if you're all over the place, people are going to lose interest in you and your business, right? So, okay. So let's look at the components of an effective pitch. So what do you think, what are your ideas about what an effective pitch will be like? What do you all think? Nazia? What do you think, Nazia? What should be an effective pitch like?
First, an introduction to your business.
Right. Okay.
I'm not very sure.
Okay. No, I mean, if you were to talk to, let's say, a client, and you're trying to persuade them that yours is a business that is sustainable, and you're going to, it's something that they should purchase. Let's say, what will you have to include in what you say?
You have to talk about your USPs, unique selling points and things like that.
Right. Great. Okay. What else? Anything else, Jude? Yes, sir.
Yeah, basically, if it is for a entrepreneur, what happens is you can, as I said earlier, so you can introduce your services, and if it is for an investor, you can basically produce your financial planning and marketing plan and everything in your pitching.
Right. So to show them that you are a viable, sort of sustainable business, right? And Dharma?
I think you have to let them develop trust in your venture. So the pitch has to be about developing that trust, or why yours is a trustworthy brand, or business, and
Yeah.
why you would want to invest in it, or like invest in a piece or a part of your product.
Because I think people say that they trust the person more than the business most of the time. So
Yes.
how you present yourself,
Okay.
how you walk in, how you sort of communicate or get through to the other party says a lot more about you than your business. So it says, people tend to trust you as a person more than the business, and that's your main selling point. But you can't, you need to have a thriving business also, right? So the first one is you have to know who you're pitching to. So if you're talking to an investor, you have to know your numbers. If you're talking to maybe a partner, again, you might have to know numbers, and you have to show them why partnering is going to benefit them. And if it's like a client, why they should purchase your service or your product, right? And consider how you're presenting yourself, not just your idea. So even if your idea is like superb, if you don't know how to present yourself, and if you're not presentable, people don't want to work with you, won't want to work with you. So that is also that is something you have to think about. And you need to tell a story, as in, you don't just barge in. You can come in with a story, say why this idea came to mind, how this idea came to mind, why it works, real life proof that it works, things like that. Not that it has to take a large part of your presentation, but it has to have a sort of that storytelling makes your audience interested in what you're saying, right? And then you have to cover the details, but you have to be very succinct. That is very short, because you only have to present what is needed. And this is why you need to know who you're pitching to, right? So if there are certain terminology in entrepreneurial businesses or whatever, if you're talking to your investors, you can obviously use those terms. But if it's a customer, you might have to dumb it down, right? So the details have to be there, but it shouldn't be a fact file, nor should it be very, elaborate, because you're going to bore your audience. And you have to focus on the benefits, value over price, not the price that they are going to pay for it, but the value they'll be getting from it is what your pitching has to sort of address. And show the roadmap, like where have you been, where are you now, and where you're planning to head to, or what are your exit pathways, what do you have planned in the future if something goes wrong, things like that. So in a pitch, the details to cover, like Nazria said, we have an introduction, right? And then we have the pitch, and then the winding up. So the middle part of it has to have the size of the market, who are you addressing, who are you trying to target, things like that, and your plan to attract and retain customers. These I don't think I need to explain, right? So how you can create barriers to competition, like what are your specialties that your competition can't sort of provide, and how can you effectively stop them reaching your customer before you. Hi Sasindu, good morning, are you there? Sasindu, is he also part of the program, Arba? Sasindu?
I haven't. I can't recall.
Madam Single Canada.
Hello, hi. Good morning, Sasindu.
Good morning, madam.
Hi. First time I'm meeting you today, I think.
Madam Single Canada.
Sorry. Hi. Sasindu, කොහොමද අද දැන් hello, අද first time නේද ඔයා මේ ආවේ?
නැහැ madam, ගිය සතියේ බැරි වුණා, ඊට කලින් හිටියා.
කියන්නේ පළවෙනිම දවසේ හිටියද business English module එකේ?
ඔව්.
මට මතක නැහැ. හරි. කොහොම හරි සසිදු Mama Malshani, මට බැටම් කියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ ඒක නිසා. හරිද?
හරි madam.
මෙහෙමයි. මම ඉංග්‍රීසි වලිනුයි සිංහලෙනුයි දෙකෙන්ම කියන්නම්. ඔයා ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින් අල්ලගන්න try කරන්න. හරිද? සිංහල එක translation එක එනකම්ම ඉන්න එපා. තේරුණාද?
හරි madam.
ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින්ම ටිකක් ඒක
හරි madam.
අල්ලගන්න try කරන්න. මම වීඩියෝස් එකම පෙන්නනවා. හැබැයි ඒව ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින්මයි යන්නේ. ඔයාට ඕන නම් මම
හරි.
මේ ටික ආයි කෙටි කරලා පස්සේ කියන්න. එමුණාට ඔයාගේ උත්සාහය වෙන්න ඕනේ ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින්ම මම යද්දි ඉගෙන ගන්න. Okay?
හරි madam.
Right. අපි
Okay, ma'am.
සසිදු කතා කරේ right quickly I'll just quickly show him pitching pitch එක කියන්නේ අපි දන්නවා නේද කාට හරි අපේ product එක ගැන විස්තර කරනවා නම් තමයි pitch කරන්නේ. ඒකට pitch කරන්නේ කාටද? ඔයා ඊට පස්සේ තමන් අපි කොහොමද පේන්නේ? අපිව විශ්වාසදායී විදිහට එහා පාර්ශවයට පේනවාද? අපිට වැඩක් කරන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක එයාලට තේරෙනවාද? ඊළඟට කතාවක් කියන තරමට හොඳයි. ඒ කියන්නේ කොහොමද ඔයාට ඒ අදහස ආවේ? ඇයි ඒ අදහස ආවේ? ඒක වැඩ කරන්නේ කොහොමද? ඒකට උදාහරණ කතාවක් වගේ කිව්වම interesting. Your audience, right? අවශ්‍ය ඔක්කොම details ටික තියෙන්න ඕන. හැබැයි කෙටියෙන්. උඩ දිගට කියන්නේ නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ එයාලා ගෙවන ගානට ඒගොල්ලන්ට ලැබෙන value එක ඒගොල්ලන්ට ලැබෙන දේ ඒ ගානට වඩා වැඩියෙන් ඒගොල්ලන්ට වටිනවා කියන එක ඒගොල්ලන්ට පෙන්වන්න. සහ දැන් ඔයා පටන් ගත්තේ කොතනද දැන් කොතනද ඉන්නේ යන්නේ කොතනද කියන එක පෙන්වන්න. That's showing the roadmap. All right? Okay. So number 1. So these are the parts. These are the details you need to include in your pitch. Pitch එක තියෙන්න ඕන දේවල්. Size of the market. ඔයාගේ target market එකේ කවුද ඔයා attract කරන්න try කරන්නේ කාවද අල්ලන්න try කරන්නේ කියන එක. Your plan to attract and retain customers. කොහොමද customers ලා ආකර්ෂණය කරගන්නේ කොහොමද ඒගොල්ලෝ තියාගන්නේ? යන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ. Right? How you can create barriers to competition. Competition කියන්නේ තරග කරුවෝනේ ඔයගලන්ගේ අර you understand what I'm saying, right, Sasino? ඔයාලත් එක තරග කරන අය ඔයාලත් එක තරග කරන අයට වඩා කොහොමද ඔයගොල්ලෝ හොඳ සර්විස් එකක් දෙන්නේ? ඒගොල්ලන්ට වඩා ඔයගොල්ලෝ කොහොමද කැපී පෙනෙන්නේ කියන වගේ අදහසක් තමයි pitch එකෙන් තව එන්නේ. Right. And back to where we were earlier. Sorry about that little quick recap.
We can't hear you right now, Malshani. You're mute.
Extremely sorry about that. That was because one of my Wi-Fi connections ran out of its data or whatever, so I had to switch my Wi-Fi connections. Extremely sorry about that. Right. Okay. So I'll be needing Arva's help again. Is Adiksha a part of the program or is he like a coordinator? Adiksha.
I think he had joined earlier. I'm not sure. I really don't know.
Okay, so Adiksha, you're sometimes I confuse Edulink people with the participants of the program. So you're a participant?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Okay. Right. So Adiksha, what we were basically doing so far was about pitching, right? And do you know what pitching is? Can you like give me sort of an overview of what you think pitching is?
I have no idea actually.
Right. So pitching is Okay, so can I know what sort of a business you're into?
Yeah, I just started a small clothing brand,
Right,
but it's
you were
currently,
there.
yeah, I was there last week.
Amazing Fit or something, right?
No,
Awesome. Tell me the name. I remember you.
Miracle Clothing.
Right, Miracle. That's right. You disappeared after a while last week. Huh?
Yeah, something happened with my Wi-Fi connection.
Okay, right. Okay. So, right. So the pitching is where you essentially present your business to someone, to an interested party, and you show him all the plus points and all the details of your business and convince them to either come in with you as a partner or invest in your business, or you get you try to convince a client that your product or service is better than what is there in the market, right? Okay, so the size of the market, the way you're planning, the way you'll be attracting and retaining customers, and how you will be creating barriers to your competitors should be all part of your pitch.
Ah.
Number 4, quick, inexpensive tests to determine product market fit. So, for sustainable, right? So that means you have to show him that you have the numbers, you have the data, you have proof, real life proof that your product is actually required by the market, and it's not something that's come out of the top of your head and you're trying to push into people's, into your target market. It's something that they actually need. It's something that will actually fit the market that you have picked. හරිද සක්සිදු? ඒ කියන්නේ අපි ගාව තියෙන්න ඕන මේ සාක්ෂි. අපි හදන්න යන ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක හරි අපේ සර්විස් එක හරි අපි කියන්නේ ඒක ගැලපෙනවා. අපි මේ දෙන්න යන මාකට් එකට ඒගොල්ලන්ට ගැලපෙනවා. ඒගොල්ලන්ට ඇත්තටම අවශ්‍යයි. නැත්නම් මේ බොරුවට අපි දෙන එකක් නෙමෙයි කියන්නේ. Okay? Right. Number 5, your plan to monetize the business and make revenue. How will you basically get a profit? For that, like what Nazia said, you need to know your numbers. What are your costs? What are your selling points, or whatever that is, right? Or I'm basically I'm an English master's, so my business knowledge might not be up to your level, but I hope you all understand what I'm trying to say, right? So this is my duty is to make you all present better. So I'll just give a cover up here so that at the end, when we have an exercise, you'll be able to present it to me, pitch for me, and then I'll be able to give you constructive criticism regarding the presentation aspect, not the pitching aspect per se, but the presentation aspect, right? And number 6, the amount of capital investment required, especially if it's an investor that you're talking to, right? So a good business opportunity. How do you prove that yours is a good business opportunity? Can we have a little talk about that? Sasindu, how will you say that? කොහොමද මිනිස්සුන්ට කියන්නේ මගේ business එක හොඳ opportunity එකක් ඕගොල්ලන්ට invest කරන්න හරි බඩු ගන්න හරි කොහොමද අපි කියන්නේ? අපි මොන වගේ දේවල්ද කියන්න ඕනේ සසින්දු? Okay, Jude, any ideas?
Yeah, if you're going for investment, of course, then you'll have to show them or in your pitch that what kind of investment you are looking for and what is the, as I said, financial background, and then the return of investment you'll have to show. So in that way, they can take a decision on whether to invest or not on the investment part. But if it is a product, of course, then you'll have to show what kind of product and what sort of help or the support or the service you get it from, and that kind of thing you need to do, and then the after sales services and the support and the help when there's any requirement for a product.
Right. So that will be more client focused, right?
investment.
sort of investor
Earlier
or
I said
partner for
about the
this.
investment. Yes, earlier I said what I said about the investment. Like as I said, I mean, if it is an investment, you'll have to show the financials and you'll have to show the plan. In the plan, you have to show the marketing plan, the sales plan, and the plus a financial plan and the cash flow, everything. And then, as I said, you'll have to show the ROI, or as the return of investment, you'll have to show to the investor in your
Right.
pitch.
Okay, thank you. That's a great answer. Arwa?
So, what would you like me to
Like what,
discuss about the
how
business plan?
will you convince, let's say, an investor mostly, that you have come up with a good business opportunity and that they should jump right into it? What will you have to say about your business and about
In
you?
my case, for my business, I would say everyone wants to feel good and pampered, and that's one of the selling points where jewelry is concerned. Either you're trying to
Right.
please the opposite person, or you're trying to please yourself and feel good about yourself. And that's something I think human nature is such that it is a requirement. And for that reason, there's always demand for jewelry. Frankly, in this last 1 year also, I've been doing a lot of custom orders. So it's not been a dull day. And
Yeah.
I would say that if in times of recession I could have continuous business, it would be a good business opportunity for anyone to invest in.
Right. So, but don't you think that you're catering to a very highly specialized market and you might sort of run out of it?
No, I actually cater to the lower end side as well. Not that I don't, I do, because that's the reason why I have this ready stock of silver jewelry is
Right.
mainly for
Okay.
that segment, that you can have an instant buy within your budget, whatever you like. And there's a big range for it. And also I do cater to the higher segment as well. So I definitely cater to each one's individual taste. And that's one of the reasons why I would say it's a good business opportunity, because with say a
A bigger
smaller,
market.
yeah, I am catering to a bigger market, I would say, in every aspect.
Okay. Adiksha, thank you. Adiksha,
Welcome.
what do you think? How can you convince someone that that they have to, sort of invest in you or start purchasing from you? Adiksha, how will you do it? What will you say? Okay, until Adiksha comes back, Nazria.
My business is all about frozen yogurt. So it's a new concept in Sri Lanka. So the thing is, usually in Sri Lanka, how the frozen yogurt outlets, they make frozen yogurt using powders and stuff. Even they don't know what is in it. But then now in my case, I source all my ingredients and everything from, locally. That is all. So it's something like I'm empowering the local businesses and the people who provide me the ingredients, and while creating a local brand which has a global market, and that's what I would say.
So what you will be saying is that you're going to support local businesses and you have an international outreach, sort of something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, right. I should take your number down because I'm a huge fan of frozen yogurt. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Satindu, මොකද කියන්නේ? How would you say that yours is a good business opportunity? කෙනෙක්ට කියන්නේ කොහොමද ඔයා මගේ business එක හොඳයි ඒකට සල්ලි දාන්න හරි ඒකෙන් බඩු ගන්න හරි කියලා කොහොමද කියන්නේ? සසිදු? Sasidu, are you there, Sasidu? Because otherwise there's no point in me translating. Adiksha, are you back? Are you there? Hold on. Someone has sent me a message. Let's see who is it. මේකයි සසිදු මම අහන්නේ දැන් ඔයා දැන් ඔයා කාට හරි කියලා කියනවානේ මගේ බිස්නස් එක සසිදු ඉස්සෙල් ඔක්කොටම කලින් කියනකොට ඔයාගේ බිස්නස් එක මොකද්ද කියලා අනිත් කල් කතා කරන්න ඕන සසිදු chat එකෙන් බෑ ඔව් කියනවා
හරි මේ බිස්නස් එක තමයි මේ සෝෂල් එන්ටර්ප්‍රෙනර් බිස්නස් එකක් මෙහි අර CKDU වක්බඩු රෝගයට මේ විසඳුමක් විදියට NGO එකක් එක්ක එකතු වෙලා මේ 150ක මුදලක් NGO එකකින් දරනවා ඉතිරි 150 තමයි කස්ටමර් දරන්න ඕනි ඒ විදිහට මේ ඌව පළාත තුල මේ වතුර පිල්ටර් දෙන එක තමයි කරන්නේ
See, I'm so glad I'm meeting you all. මේ කොච්චර හොඳ අදහස් තියෙනවද කට්ටියගේ. මම අහන්නේ මෙහෙමයි. දැන් ඔයා හරි දැන් ඔයා කොහොමද ගිහිල්ලා NGO එකට උනා? දැන් ඔයා හිතන්න දැන් ඔය NGO එකේ ඉන්නවට තව කවුරු හරි ඕන වෙන උදව් කරන්න. කාටව හරි ඕන වෙනවා. ඔයා කොහොමද ඒගොල්ලන්ට ගිහිල්ලා කියන්නේ මේක හොඳ බිස්නස් ඔපචුනිටි එකක් කියලා. කියන්නේ මේකට ඔයගොල්ලෝ සල්ලි දාන්න මොකද මේකෙන් ඔයාලටයි අනිත් අයටයි තියෙන වාසි ගොඩක් වැඩි කියන එක වගේ පෙන්වන්නේ කොහොමද? මොන වගේ දේවල්ද කියන්නේ?
ඒ කිව්වේ මිස් මේ දැන්ට කරගෙන යන්නේ කියන්නේ ලාභාර මුණු කර නොගත් විදිහට BR එකක් විදිහට නෙමෙයි රෙජිස්ටර් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ NGO එකක් විදිහට. එතකොට මේ
එහෙනම් ඉතින් සම්පූර්ණ මේක ඉච්චරම ගැලපෙන එකක් නෑ නේද?
ඔව් එතකොට
එවුනාට ඒත් ඔයා කොහොමද කියන්නේ මේ සෝෂල් පදින් කියන්නේ සෝෂල් සමාජයට කරන යහපතක් විදිහට හරි පෙන්නන්නේ කොහොමද ඔයා?
ඒක කරන්නේ දැනට මේ ප්‍රදේශවල තියෙන ජල සාම්පල මේ පරීක්ෂා කරනවා. ඒ වතුරේ තියෙනවද බැරලෝහ මිශ්‍ර වෙලා තියෙන රිපෝට් අපි ගන්නවා ඒ ප්‍රදේශවල. ඊට පස්සේ ඒ ප්‍රදේශයෙන් අපි තෝරා ගන්නවා.
මම අහන්නේ ඔයා කෙනෙක්ට කියන්නේ කොහොමද? ඒක මේ මම කරන දේ වැදගත්. ඔයාලගේ මේ සහයෝගය මට දෙන්න කියන එක ඔයා කියන්නේ. කෙනෙක් මම අහන්නේ. මොන වගේ දේවල්ද දාන්නේ? හරි අපි බලමුකෝ. හරිද? ඔයාගේ බිස්නස් ඔපචුනිටි එකක්ම නෙවෙයිනේ. ඔයාගේ ගොඩක්ම යන්නේ නිකන් සමාජ සේවයක් වගේනේ.
ඔව්.
Right? ඒත් ඉතින් ඔයාට මුදල් අවශ්‍යයිනේ.
ඔව්.
Right. So you have to demonstrate the following. Okay, right. You have to show that it's a less costlier option than what is there in the market. Your competition, right? Okay, අනිත් ඒවාට වඩා ස්ටෑන්ඩඩ් එක අඩු කරන්නේ නැතුව මිල අඩුවෙන් කරගන්න පුළුවන් එකක් කියලා බලන්න ඕන. Business opportunity එක හොඳයි කියලා පෙන්නන්න. Reduced risks of failure. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි අනාගතයේට අපේ business එක fail වෙන chance එක අඩුයි. The chance because we have done the research necessary, we have put in all the work necessary, and we have proven that the mechanism works, the system works, right? And that there's a ready market. And so no one will come into a market where the market is not definite, right? Avilla market එක හදා ඉන්න කවුරු කැමති නෑනේ market එක තියනවා නම් තමයි එන්න කැමති. So that's why you have to prove that there's a market. High level of competence. කරන්න පුළුවන්, Tamanට කරන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක පෙන්නන්න ඕන අනිත් පැත්තට because otherwise what happens is everyone loses faith in you. ඔයා ගැන තියෙන විශ්වාසය නැති වුණොත් no one will want a business partnership with you. Better financing options, right? So you show them how we can source income, how we can source financial resources, things like that. Like අනිත් අයට වඩා what are the best හොඳ මුදල් උපයන ක්‍රම ඔයාගාව තියෙනවද ඒව පෙන්නන්න, right? And how you are doing your advertising and promotion, social media හරහාද නැත්නම් word of mouth කටද නැත්නම් TV advertisements, radio advertisements, newspaper advertisements, නැත්නම් ඔය එක තියෙනවානේ Facebook advertisements. කොහොමද ඔයගොල්ලෝ advertising කරන්නේ? නැත්නම් Instagram එකේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ customers ළමද advertise කරන්නේ අන්න ඒ වගේ අදහසක් දෙන්න. Right? Okay. Now I have two videos ready. Both are from Shark Tank. I think Arpa said you have watched Shark Tank before this. Anyone else? Nazia, have you watched
No.
Shark Tank? Right.
No, I
Okay.
haven't.
Right. Jude?
No.
Right. Sasi?
I haven't watched it.
You haven't watched it, Jude, right? That's what you said. Atindu? Shark Tank කියන program එක බලලා තියෙනවද? Atindu? Shark Tank කියලා තියෙන program එක බලලා තියෙනවද?
බලලා නැහැ මැඩම්.
අතික්ෂ මට බලලා නැද්ද? Right. දැන් ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින් යන්නේ පොඩ්ඩක් බලාගෙන මම පස්සේ පොඩි summary එකක් දෙන්න අපි පොඩි break එකක් ගමු. ඒකේ ඒ වෙලාවට මම summary එකක් දෙන්න. Okay. ටිකක් දිගයි.
Okay.
ඒ වුණාට බලනවා නම් හොඳයි. මොකද මම හිතන්නේ ගොඩක් දේවල් ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? මම හිතාගෙන හිටියේ මේකෙන් පටන් ගන්න. ඒකට මට දැන් හිතෙනවා මේ වීඩියෝ එකකින් පටන් ගන්න. අදීක්ෂ, have you watched Shark Tank? Adiksha, have you ever watched Shark Tank? Okay, Adiksha's gone missing. Right, so what I'm going to do is we'll watch this. Now, so, wait. Now, these are real entrepreneurs, like millionaires. Business වලින් හොඳටම සල්ලි හම්බ කරපු කට්ටිය තමයි Shark Tank එකේ ඉන්නේ. What the premise of Shark Tank is අලුත් business එකක්, අලුත් entrepreneur කෙනෙක් එයාලට investor කෙනෙක් ඕන වුණාම හරි mentor කෙනෙක් ඕන වුණාම හරි ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ program එකට යනවා. program එකට ගිහිල්ලා එහෙනම් program එකක් බලමු. I'm sorry. My initial judgment was right. Okay. ඒගොල්ලෝ program එකට ගිහිල්ලා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ product එකේ invest කරන්න ඕන හරි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ product එකට යාලව mentor කෙනෙක් විදියට එන්න ඕනේ ඇයි කියන එක තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ ඔප්පු කරන්නේ. දැන් මේ online YouTube එකේ එච්චර quality හොඳ නැහැ තියෙන videos වල ඒ වුණාට we'll have to try our best. Okay, so what they try to do is now they coming to this place where there are all these millionaire entrepreneurs and they try to convince them to invest with them. ඔක්කොමල්ලා invest කරන්නේ සමහර කට්ටිය විතරයි. Some invest, some don't like it, some don't get any investment at all. This is considered one of the best pictures ever on Shark. Right? Make a 9 minutes විතර දිගයි අපි ටිකක් බලලා කොහොමද යන්නේ කියන එක බලලා නවත්තමු. Okay, so just watch how this person comes in, how they demonstrate what their product is, and how they sort of convince these entrepreneurs to become investors or mentors, right?
I'm Bobby Edwards.
Can you all hear? The quality of the video is not good. I'm sorry. That's because I took this from YouTube, and YouTube, these videos are too good. Okay, are you all okay? Can you hear?
Yeah, we can.
Pay some attention to it because after the break, we'll probably be doing a little bit of an activity for you all too, where you will do a little bit of a pitching, okay, for your product.
This is my mother, Judy, and we're here seeking $350,000 for Hello, Sharks. I'm Bobby Edwards. This is my mother, Judy, and we're here seeking $350,000 for a 5% share in our simple product that changes lives.
Simply put, we're in the business to help you do your business.
Now, there's something that each and every one of you are doing wrong every day of your lives, and it's adversely affecting your health. Oh, that business. The American toilet.
You know, there's very few people that realize that the toilet and the sitting position that it puts you in plays a big part in a lot of the colon issues that we have, such as constipation. Let me show you why. Anatomically, we have a muscle called the puborectalis muscle that wraps around the base of our colon, forming a kink. And when we're sitting on the toilet, this kink only partially relaxes. And only when we are in a squat position does this muscle completely relax and allows us to have a complete and full elimination of our waste.
So we've come up with a perfect solution. Squatty potty. A simple stool that's been carefully designed that allows the user to squat in a healthy position while still enjoying the comfort and convenience of their Western toilet. And when not in use, it stores neatly away.
So, with our hard work and family spirit and your knowledge and expertise, Squatty Potty will be the goose that lays the golden egg for you guys and us too.
Now, who wants to climb on board and help us get America
Bobby,
moving?
how do you squeeze out a profit?
You want to hear about Squatty Potty profits?
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear about sales because you value this business at $7 million.
Right.
That's a whole lot of poo-poo.
We've been in business 3 years. The first year in business, we sold $1 million in Squatty Potty.
Come on. The year after
The
that?
year after, we did $2.7 million.
Yes, I like it.
And this year alone, we just sold $2 million in Squatty Potties in the first 2 quarters. So
How do you sell them? To who?
they're all available online. You know, we have
There's
a website.
no retail?
And Amazon. We're not in retail yet.
Holy crap. You're
Holy
selling.
crap, right? There's a crap load of money in Squatty
No,
Potty.
seriously, you're selling 2.7 million online?
I think
Yes.
I know why.
Why?
Weren't you just on Dr. Oz? I just saw this.
Okay, so in the first year we were in business, in 2012, we were on Dr. Oz.
Yes.
That's how we got that $1 million, right? And you know what Dr. Oz said about it? It works.
Because 2/3 of the world,
Right.
people squat.
Yep.
Is there anything to stop someone else from doing exactly the same thing?
Okay, so we have several patents. We have a design patent on our Echo, which is our #1 seller. We have patent pendings on this adjustable squatty, so an adjustable stool that raises with toilet height.
So what do you sell it for and what's it cost you to make?
Let's talk about this one because this is the one that's on market. It's 25.
I'm sorry. Are you all okay following? Okay, the
Yes, we are following.
right. Okay. Because I'm not sure if it's getting stuck on your side or not.
It's 25 bucks.
And what's it cost you to make?
$450.
Wow.
And we make them in the United States.
Great margins.
But guys, look, with those margins, you got to be pooping cash, right? What do you need $350,000 for?
So we have so many opportunities, we can't fund them all. One of the biggest things that we want is FDA compliance and medical reimbursement coverage for this product and getting this as a medical device. And this is where this takes this from a, as seen on TV, direct response product to a real legitimate medical product.
Do you guys have this as a direct response product?
So we do.
No.
This is the other issue. Why aren't we in retail? Because people don't know how to put this in retail.
Why would you want to go into retail when you're killing it right now?
Why wouldn't we want to be in every Walgreens and CVS?
I think one of the challenges with getting this into retail is, I mean, do people first laugh?
Yeah.
Why can't somebody just get a stack of books and lift their legs up? I mean,
Squatty Potty is designed specifically for the task. It's perfectly angled, the perfect width. It's like cutting a steak with a butter knife, right? You're gonna get it, but it's not gonna be as good. We have
I mean,
a
it
cult
was-
following.
yeah.
People love their Squatty Potties. I don't know if you listen to Howard Stern. He loves the Squatty Potty.
dude.
He won't quit talking about the Squatty Potty. When you try it, you'll see. It changes everything.
this is the first crappy investment I like.
Right.
Let's go back to the numbers for a second. Are we saying 4 mil in sales this year? 4 million?
Oh, no.
No, we expect $7 million in 2014.
Why? But why?
Because all of our sales come at Christmas. At Christmas time, this is a big product.
43%.
Plus, we have-
What are you going to make off the 7 million? What
We're
are you going to
expecting
make?
to earn $1 million to $1.5 million in this.
So why, if you have 80% margins, why aren't you making more money off of 7 million in sales?
The cost of getting a customer and it's an education
Okay,
thing.
so what's your cost per customer acquisition
Well,
right now? How much are you spending on advertising
For
and
the
marketing?
last 6 weeks, we've been advertising on Howard Stern. For every dollar we spend, we get $4 to $5 in sales.
So, Bobby, let's say I buy into your 7 million vision for this year in sales. What are you going to do with my money?
I'm going to increase production immediately. Our sales are increasing so rapidly.
Our demand is around the world.
And we have cash in the bank. We can make a crap load of money here and help people poop. We're a good family to work with. But we feel like we really do need a shark. We want somebody on board that will allow us, when we make those phone calls, they will get answered.
You know, Bob, the only problem with your deal is how insignificant 5% is, at least for me looking at it. I like the deal.
Okay.
I'd give you the $350,000 for 10%.
Yeah, so that's, you know, the problem is that on the back end, it's going to be worth so much more.
Look, I think you're about to get a lot of verbal diarrhea from Kevin. So let me clear the throne.
Okay.
It's a good one, Robert.
Kudos to you. In a million years, I never would have thought you had those kind of revenues. I think it's very, very difficult to get people to change their minds about things. We're used to going to the toilet a certain way. You've got to change that perception. I mean, you're doing it, but I got to go with my gut feel. My first instinct was, I just don't see it. I'm out.
Right. So what did you all sort of learn from it? Sasidhu, හිටියේ ඉන්වෙස්ටර්ස්ලා ඒගොල්ලන්ගෙන් ඒගොල්ලෝ ඇහුවේ අර ආපටිගෙන් ඇයි මිනිස්සු ඒ වගේ දෙයක් ගන්නෙ කොහොමද ඔයාලා ඇඩ්වර්ටයිස් කරන්නේ කොහොමද ඔයා ඇඩ්වර්ටයිස් කරන්නේ කොහොමද ඔයාගේ නම්බර්ස් මොනවද ප්‍රොෆිට් එක මොකද්ද කොස්ට් එක කියන්නේ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් හදන්න යන ගාන ප්‍රොෆිට් එක කොහොමද අපි ඔයාලගේ සල්ලි ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරොත් ඔයාලා මොකද්ද කරන්නේ සල්ලි වලින් ඊළඟට කියන්නේ කස්ටමර් කෙනෙක්ව acquire කරන්න කස්ටමර් කෙනෙක්ව බිස්නස් එකට ඇද ගන්න කොච්චර ගාණක් යනවද ඒ වගේ නම්බර්ස් වලින් තමයි අහුවේ මේ අවුරුද්දේ කොච්චර ඔයාලගේ ප්‍රොෆිට් එක තියෙනවද ගිය අවුරුද්දේ කොහොමද ප්‍රොෆිට් එක things like that okay ඒව දැන් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ නම්බර්ස් ඒගොල්ලෝ කියපු නම්බර්ස් ගොඩක් impressive so the investors are actually quite interested in it and it was called one of the best pictures on Shark Tank. Right? Okay. So there's another video. This is where these entrepreneurs, the sharks, talk about what makes a good pitch. Make a egolanga pathik. Eyalaව convince කරන්න. ඒගොල්ලෝ if they are convinced, why? Sharks lage පැත්තෙන්, entrepreneurs lage ඔය මේ දැන් ඉන්න ප්‍රධාන කට්ටියගේ පැත්තෙන් එයාලා මොනවද බලන්නේ pitch එක. This video is about that, right? And it too is a bit long, but let's see. Because I feel that there's a lot to learn from what they say.
We're the fabulous cast for Shark Tank.
And these are the traits we look for in an entrepreneur.
One of the attributes of a great entrepreneur is it's someone who understands and knows their numbers. They understand their business model. They understand the market they are in. They understand the challenges they've got, and they're able to measure with the numbers. A great example of an entrepreneur that has a tremendous amount of energy and knew their numbers is Snarky Tees.
What are your sales?
We've done $190,000 in 8 months.
Give us customer acquisition cost.
So our cost of acquiring a customer right now is about $11.
How much is this?
So there are 15 sachets in each of our tins, and they're $12.99.
That's expensive, though. A K-cup is 66 cents.
When we actually dug in to look at her numbers, and you could see she knew all of them. She really understood her numbers, her margin, her customer acquisition costs, her market. We discovered that the average order was 3 tins. So even though she was paying $11 for customer acquisition, she was basically getting about $40 an order. So she was making money. I invested in that deal along with Bethany Frankel. We made our money back in 90 days because when it aired on Shark Tank, it exploded.
But what happens after Shark Tank?
Well, Barbara, I like it when I make my money back. After that, I'm betting on the future. We got all of our capital back, and now she's building a brand by reducing the snarkiness. In other words, the large retailers didn't like any swear words or cuss words or anything with sexual overtones. We removed all that, and we started getting retailers like Walmart and others who would take in 2 or 3 different flavors, not the whole line.
Entrepreneurs need to be creative. I think the most creative minds come up with better ways to do things or new ways to do things. So creativity is innovation.
Creative thinking always is incredibly important to business because you're competing and you want to try to give yourself an edge, not only against your competition, but in trying to come up with new solutions for your customers.
Someone who inhabits creativity is Scrub Daddy.
Here I've got some hot water, here I've got some cold water. When I immerse the Scrub Daddies in the hot and cold water, a complete transformation occurs. Now, to show you that, I've got 10-pound weights. Here, under the 10 pounds, it's soft and compressible, and that's like a sponge. That's for your general scrubbing applications. But here, check that out.
His product is creative, just to begin with. He came in with something that was completely different. Everything about the entrepreneur, the product, and the demo was creative.
I love to find an entrepreneur that has chutzpah. My two partners that did the Comfy product, which is a sweatshirt that's also a blanket, they had 2 examples of it, no inventory. They didn't know their numbers, but they had the courage to sit there and pitch as though they had gold. And something about those guys, I said, I'm not sure I get the product, but I went for it.
All you want is to be warm and cozy, you know, comfy. Well, that's exactly what the Comfy is designed to solve. Because it's a blanket, it's perfect for lounging around the house in total luxury. And because it's a sweatshirt, it goes with you and keeps you warm wherever you are.
Oh my God. It's a fabulous product. Never would have happened if they had waited till everything was in order and came on Shark Tank. No, they came in with just a prototype. That's it.
I think it's really important. You need to be a problem solver.
Being successful in business is never a straight line. You know, if it were easy and we start a business, then you're immediately successful or eventually even successful, then everybody would do it. It never works like that. There are always problems, there are always challenges, and you have to figure out how to solve them or you go out of business.
Let's take a look at DropStop.
Your crack problems are over. Car seat crack, that is.
Introducing DropStop, the first of its kind, original, patented safety device designed to once and for all block that pesky yet ever so dangerous gap between your car seat and center console. The built-in slot is designed to fit easily around the seatbelt catch like so.
Mark was driving and he got distracted because his cell phone fell down into that crack.
Mark the entrepreneur.
Yeah, Mark the entrepreneur. Yeah, that's right. His phone fell down and he went to grab it and he almost hit a tree and a pedestrian. And he said, there's got to be a better way. Like, I'm going to figure out something that blocks that gap. And so they came up with DropStop and they've done a phenomenal business. I think we're over 40 million in sales.
So a successful entrepreneur also has the ability to motivate and work with others. Al Bubba Baker. This guy is a huge man in so many different ways. He's like your big uncle. He also has a big personality, but he also knows his ribs that are boneless, meaning the bones are actually pulled out of the rib. That is a patent on the product and the process, and he is an amazing motivator.
Now, I played a little football in the NFL for 13 years. That was my job. Barbecue is my passion. Sadly, I married a woman that doesn't like ribs because they're too messy. So I vowed to find a way for my wife to be able to enjoy ribs. But how do you make ribs less messy? You take the bones out. After 20 years, I found the perfect method, and the deboned baby back rib steaks were born. Make no bones about it, Sharks. It's time for some ribs.
What a salesman. Wow.
He was absolutely amazing. Great. And we've gone on to do so many things that deal with Carl's Jr., also cruise lines, and he's just amazing entrepreneur, but he gets to motivate people. Because listen, the buyer's gonna see a bunch of ribs from so many different people, but when Al Bubba Baker comes in that room and he resonates with them and says, you know what, the best thing behind any great invention is a wife who hates ribs, right? And then he gets them to realize that. And then he also talks about his time on the field. And then by the time it's over, he has them eaten out of his hands. He's a motivator.
So do you think motivation's the key to good salesmanship? Because that guy could sell you anything.
I believe so. You got to motivate your team. Do you want your team coming to the office where they work for you or with you, and they're like, I don't want to be here. I hate what I'm doing. They're on Instagram the rest of the day. But if they're motivated and they feel like they're part of a movement, people want to feel part of a movement. They want to go out and brag about you when you're not around.
Entrepreneurs need to be open to new perspectives and diverse opinions. Look at your workforce. Do they all look like you? Do they look different than each other? Do they have different experiences? It's really about allowing people to speak up and allowing and encouraging them to speak about their experiences and how they can impact your business. Because all it takes is one good idea. A great example of someone who looks for new perspectives is Alice from Alice's Table.
Alice's Table empowers women across the country to launch their own businesses, teaching flower arranging classes. There are brilliant moms everywhere looking for flexible and creative ways to make money and lead in their communities.
So Alice's Table was a deal that Sarah and Blakely and I did together. And what's unique about Alice is she goes out and uses flowers and events, an ever-growing number of opportunities to help women create their own businesses. And her business just keeps on growing and growing.
If you are successful as an entrepreneur, you end up free, but the sacrifice is immense. You won't be hitting a lot of barbecues on the weekends, and you won't see anybody playing soccer if you have kids, because you're going to be working.
I'm sure there's some ugly looking cut up sponges that Scrub Daddy put together.
Dozens and dozens.
One of my favorite sayings is it doesn't matter how many times you fail. You only have to be right one time. And that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. Every time you fail, you learn. But if you get it right one time, everybody calls you an overnight success and you just smile all the way to the bank.
Right. So was that useful, or how did you find it?
Was a very good summary of what's to be spoken about.
Right. Okay. And it gives you an idea about what they are looking for, right? Rather than what we are trying to give them. Okay.
Yes.
Sasidu, තේරුණාද ටිකක් හරි කොහමද?
ඉංග්‍රීසි නම් අමාරුයි නේද?
Alright. මම දැන් translate කරන්නම් පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න break එකක් දෙනවා කට්ටියට. Jude, were you okay with it? Jude? Andrea?
Yeah, I kind of got it, but it was a lot of information to grab. I think
That's
I will have to
right.
go through it again.
Sure. Just type in Shark Tank on YouTube. You'll get those. But I'm not sure how you can watch the entire season, all the seasons. But I think they are like up to season 15, 16 now. I don't know. So there's another, I think they have an Australian counterpart, Shark Tank Australia, and then England, I think some dragon thing or something, I can't remember. So there are different versions of this around the world. So I suppose you can find a few, but this is the original program, right? Okay,
Right,
so Jude, was it okay? Adiksha?
Hello.
Hi, how was
Hi.
it? Were you able to learn anything?
Yeah, I was just listening.
Okay. So you understand, like, what a sort of a comprehensive pitching would be like, right? We are not just giving some names or telling them what is what, but we have to know our business inside out, and we have to make sure that the audience also understands it. So this is your sort of assessment, not assessment per se, just what we are going to do in the class. So you have to create a 5-minute pitch, not a presentation, because on the first day we did more or less a presentation, right? And before that, I want you to explain who you're sort of pitching to. I would like it to be an investor rather than a client, because with an investor you have to, there are more things that you have to say. So a 5-minute pitch, no more than that, with all these things that they said, the numbers, the customers, your production, your what do you call it? In the future, the amount you will be earning, sort of the figures, right? Things like that. Why yours is a creative solution? What is the story behind it? And why you think it's a good brand? And you have to also present yourself as someone trustworthy, and something like that. Are we all right with that? It's 10:31. If I say 10:45, will that be enough time? Will that be enough time? Ruth, will that be enough for you?
I think we'll need a little more, right? For a 5-minute pitch.
Okay, then let's say 11 is a bit too long. 30 minutes, 10:50.
Okay.
Yeah, because let's see, by 10:50, depending on your what you have finished, we'll see if we should extend it or not. Nazria, will that be okay?
Yeah, Miss Marsha, please excuse me. I don't think I'll be able to do it now because I've never done it before. I'd like to watch someone.
No, don't worry. Just now, I'm not going to mark y'all or anything. Just do it. Get the feel of it, right? Get the feel of it. How will you do it? Think about it now, because if you don't think about it now, you're going to forget about it. Think about it now. Just because it's all in your head now. Don't worry. I know. Don't worry. Like, see, I'm teaching business to entrepreneurs when my major is in English. So if I never started this, I'll always be like, scared. It doesn't happen that way. You have to start somewhere, and then you will, sort of get the hang of it. If you don't start anywhere, so this is like a practicing platform. Don't worry about it. No one's judging you. No one's giving you marks. Shall we try, Nazria?
Okay, we'll try.
Okay, let's. Yes, right. Adiksha, can we try?
Okay. Hello.
Good, great. Jude? Jude? Okay, so since I'm going to explain Sasindu in Sinhala, you might find it hard because I'm going to talk. Y'all can mute me if you want. All right? Because I think that'll be better. Sasindu? Sasindu?
Oh, madam.
Right. Sasindu, දැන් ඔය අන්තිමට entrepreneurs ලා කියපු දේවල් තමයි numbers, ඔයාගේ numbers. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාගේ මේවයි මේ සිංහල වචන නම හරියටම දන්නේ නැහැ. ලාභය, ශුද්ධ ලාභය. ඒවා ඊට පස්සේ මේ අවුරුද්ද දැන් කාර්තු කියලානේ තියෙන්නේ අවුරුද්දේ කාර්තු 4ක් හරි 3ක් හරි තියෙනවා නේද? ඒක දැන් ඒ කාර්තු වලදී හම්බ වෙච්ච මුදල් ප්‍රමාණය ඉස්සරහා කාර්තු වලට අපි හිතන ප්‍රමාණය හම්බ වෙයි කියලා. ගිය අවුරුද්දේ ප්‍රොෆිට් එක මේ අවුරුද්දේ ප්‍රොෆිට් එක ඊළඟ අවුරුද්ද වෙද්දි මෙහෙම වෙනවා. ඒ ටික ඊළඟට තිබිච්ච ප්‍රශ්න අභිබවා ගිහිල්ලා ඒවයිට් නම්බර්ස් මොන වගේ ප්‍රශ්නද ආවේ ඒක කොහොමද ඔයා ඒ ප්‍රශ්නේ හැන්ඩල් කරලා අප් ප්‍රොෆිට් එක හරි මොනවා හරි නම්බර්ස් ඒවා නම්බර්ස් වලින් දෙන්න. ඊළඟට මාජින් එක දන්නවනේ ප්‍රොෆිට් මාජින් එක කියන්නේ ඔක්කොම වියදම් ටික ගිහිල්ලා සුද්ධ ලාභය කියන්නේ මොකද ඒක? ඊළඟට ඔයාගේ මාකට් එක කාටද මේව කරන්නේ? ඒක කියන්නේ ඒක ගොඩ දිගු කාලීනව තියාගන්න පුළුවන්ද නැත්නම් ඒක කෙටි කාලයකින් උපරිම විදිහට හම්බ කරලා අයින් වෙන්න පුළුවන් බිස්නස් එකක්ද මොකක්ද කියලා. ඊළඟට ගොඩක් මේ ක්‍රියේටිව් වෙන්න ඕන. අලුතෙන් හිතන දෙයක් වෙන්න ඕන. සාමාන්‍ය මිනිස්සෙක් හිතපු නැති දෙයක් වෙන්න ඕන. හරිද? අලුත් අදහසක්. දැන් ඔයාගේ අදහස මට හිතෙනවා සෑහෙන හොඳ එකක් කියන එක. මම දන්නේ නැහැ අනිත් කොච්චර කී දෙනෙක් ඔය වැඩේ කරනවද කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ එයාලා පුද්ගලයාවත් බලනවා කිව්වා. පුද්ගලයා කොහොමද කොන්ෆිඩන්ට්ද? යා ෆ්‍රෙන්ඩ්ලිද? එයාට වැඩක් කරගන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක තේරෙනවද? එයාට මිනිස්සු අල්ල ගන්න පුළුවන්ද? එයා මිනිස්සුව හැන්ඩල් කරන විදිහ කොහොමද? ඒ කියන්නේ හැම කෙනෙක්වම ආශ්‍රය කරලා වෙනි කෙනෙක් හිතන විදිහ ගැන මේ හිතන්න පුළුවන් කෙනෙක්ද අර කෙනෙක්. මේ ඒ කෙනෙක් කිව්වා එයා බලනවා කියලා එයාත් එක්ක වැඩ කරන අනිත් අයවත්. කට්ටිය එක බෑග්ග්‍රවුන්ඩ්ස් වලින් දෙන්නේ. මොකද මිනිස්සු මේ කියන්නේ මිනිස්සුගේ විවිධත්වය වැඩි වෙන එන අදහස් ප්‍රමාණය එන හිතන විදිහ ගොඩක් වෙනස්නේ. ඒතකොට ඒ වගේ කට්ටියක් එක වැඩ කරනකොට අලුතෙන් දේවල් හොයා ගන්න පුළුවන්, අලුතෙන් දේවල් හිතන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ පුද්ගලයෙක් එක්ක වැඩ කරන්න ලේසි. ඊට පස්සේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් විසඳෙනවද? ඔයාලගේ මේ ඔයාලගේ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් right and අනිත් අයත් එක්ක අනිත් අයවත් මොටිවේට් කරලා පොළඹවන්න පුළුවන් හොඳ දෙයක්. දැන් ඇත්තටම ගොඩක් ඔෆිසස් වල වෙන්නේ වැඩ කරන කෙනා යනවා උදේට බොස්ට පේන අක්සම් කරලා ඇවිල්ලා එයා යාගේ වැඩ කරගන්නවානේ. දැන් මෙයාලා කියන්නේ එහෙම නෙමෙයි. ඒ කියන්නේ එයාලා ඒ බිස්නස් එකේ කෙනෙක් එක්ක වැඩ කරන්න කෙනෙක් ආස වෙන්න ඕන. ඒ කියන්නේ එයාට තේරෙන්න ඕන මේකේ තියනවා කියලා ලොකු වටිනාකමක්. මම කරන වැඩෙන් මිනිස්සුන්ට වටිනාකමක් එනවා කියන එක. සසිඳු Okay, Sindhu. So that's about it. ඒ ටික තමයි කිව්වේ. දැන් මම මේ try කරන්නේ පුළුවන් ද විනාඩි 5ක් විතර ඒ වගේ දේවල් එකතු කරලා දාලා පොඩ්ඩක් කතා කරන්න අපිට.
ඔව්. හරි වෙන පුළුවන්.
මම කිව්වේ 11:50ට කියලා. දැන් ඔයාලට ටිකක් වෙලා ගියානේ 11:55ට විතර. sorry 10:55ට පුළුවන් වේනේ.
පුළුවන්.
Right. Okay, great. විනාඩි 5ක් විතර කතා කරන්න තියෙන්නේ දැන් ඔය මම කියපු දේවල් දාලා. All right? Okay. Jude, are you all right?
මං කියන්න ඕනද වැඩ?
ඔයා දැන් නෙමෙයි ටිකක් වෙලා මම දැන් වෙලාව දීලා තියෙන්නේ. හරිද? 10:55ට දැන් අනිත් අය 10:50ට කතා කරන්න ගන්නවා. ඔයා 10:55ට වෙද්දි ලෑස්තිලා හිටියනම් හරි මම ඔය දැන් කියපු ටික දාලා අර විදියට කියන්නේ මම ඉන්වෙස්ටර් කෙනෙක් නම් ඔයා මාව කොහොමද ඇදලා ගන්න කියන එක හරිද ඇදලා ගන්න ඔයා කොහොමද ඔයාගේ profits numbers ඔයා කාවද ඇඩ්‍රස් කරන්නේ කොහොමද එයාලා ගාවට යන්නේ ඔයා කොහොමද කස්ටමර් කෙනෙක්ව ගන්න එයාට කොහොමද ඔයාගේ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක හොඳයි කියලා යවන්නේ අර ඒ වගේ හරි නේද
හරි
right okay Jude, I hope you're okay. Your mic is silent, so I'm not too sure if you're there or not. Jude? Ooh. Okay, so I'm here. If there's anything you all need, just let me know. Okay? Let me know if there's anything I can help you all with. Okay, times are, anyone ready? Because we can't take a lot of time. June? June? Can we do a little pitching? Addiction?
Not yet, ma'am.
How much longer do you?
Another 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Okay. 10 is a bit hard to give, but let's see. Okay. Nazria?
I kind of think I can do it, but I'm not very sure of what I'm doing, but I'll do it.
Fine, don't worry about it. It's just that we are going to get the brain clogs, cogs starting to work. Right? There we are just pushing them. Then it'll work better when you're on your own. Shall we start, Nazria?
Okay, I'll start then.
Right. Do you think we could switch your video on?
I'm sorry, I can't switch my video on because my children are next to me doing their classes.
Okay, right.
Okay.
So because body language can be important. That's why. Anyway, right.
Right, okay. Right. So my business is all about frozen yogurt, and as people are exploring new desserts, exploring new desserts, frozen yogurt have become one of the highly demanded products globally as well. But in Sri Lanka, it's new to Sri Lanka, so the awareness about the product is quite less. Other than the cities, people don't really know what frozen yogurt is but in the cities, yeah, people are very well aware. And I see that there is a demand and has a good future is what I see. So the reason why I actually started up the business was like, when I was living abroad for some time, for about like 5 years. And at that time, my children were very small. And my husband is a doctor, and he's very worried about what I'm feeding my children with. So when I was like doing the search, what this frozen yogurt was made up of, all what I saw was people bring a powder and they make it out of the powder. So the basis is they dehydrate the yogurt, that is the curd, what we use here in Sri Lanka. So they dehydrate and make it a powder, and that's how it's made. And nobody actually knows what is in it with all the preservatives and everything. So I thought, okay, I should develop a product which has no preservatives in it, so that I can give something healthy to my children. So I was like working on this recipe for about 2 years almost. So then I came back to Sri Lanka in 5 years, and then when I made it for my family, someone in my family said, okay, why don't you start up this as a business, because there is a demand and there is no proper product. We can't find it. So that was the beginning of the story. So that is how I actually started up. So giving a solution to all the mothers who are looking for healthy options for their children, not only children, for their families. And so at the beginning, the problems I actually faced with the business was about sourcing the ingredients, because certain products that I'm using, ingredients that I'm using are like very costly in Sri Lanka, like very, very costly. So then I finally had to like speak to all these dairy companies, and finally had to speak to them and get everything at a wholesale price and all that. And then when it came to packaging, again, it was very costly for me, because I thought I should be a socially responsible brand. So I wanted to like have my packaging like completely biodegradable. And so I was looking for paper cup options and wooden spoons and things like that. So again, that problem also was there and still persists, I believe. And so the other thing is this product, actually, I see a good future for the product, because the youngsters really like it, and the millennials also really like it. So I mean, when now in another 5 years, the youngsters will become millennials, and then that cycle moves on. The trend is there because the youngsters are really interested in trying out new stuff, trying new food stuff, and food always anyways has a market. So I think in another 5 years, it's maybe it's going to have a good market. So that's how I see my business as.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Done?
Yes, I'm done.
Right. Okay. So there are a few questions I'd like to ask, depending on the pitch. So how are you going to sort of, how have you already launched the product? Or
Actually, I have started it up like an SME. So it was like I started it up only in 2018. I started up 18, and then after lockdown, I actually stopped making it because of the ingredient issues, because we couldn't get the ingredients and stuff. So it's still, I have not started up as yet after the lockdown. After 2020, I have not done anything. So,
so when it
hoping to
was
start up, yeah.
when it was in, like, sort of when you were doing, when the business is thriving, what sort of, like, you don't have to tell me the numbers, but was the profit margin?
The profit was really good because profit was really good actually, to say, because I was getting, when I was getting the stuff on a wholesale, at a wholesale price, the profit was really good. But then since it was the beginning, I had to invest a lot in my marketing. So that actually,
I mean, biodegradable stuff in Sri Lanka is costlier than I think
very
other
costly.
countries.
Exactly. It was very, very costly. I wanted to, like, I was looking for options, like, so I mean, the business was like going on a very small profit margin, because I was spending more on the packaging and also marketing again.
Right. So where were you sort of, how did your customers purchase them?
I
From you
only
or
did it online. And from me. They came to me. It actually first went from friends, family, and then towards my customers were mostly from Colombo and Gampaha. So all these with analytics, I'm telling you, things that I have gone through my Google Analytics and stuff. So that is how I know, okay, my customers come from Gampaha and Colombo.
Right. Okay. So what's the shelf life sort of? Because you said you don't add preservatives.
If I keep it in the freezer, I can keep it up to 6 months.
6 months, not bad.
Yes, I
What
can keep
about
it for 6 months.
Yeah, if it's in the fridge, it won't definitely last that long, right? I mean, if I were to bring it home and start consuming it, within how many days should I? If I open it, how many days will it be like?
Even if you open it, not a problem. You can serve it and you can put it back in the freezer. Nothing happens. Because I have kept it in my house, I think even more than 6 months. But I tell my customers to keep it only for 6 months, not more than that.
What are the flavors then?
I have about, now I can't even remember how many. Maybe.
So you
all
have
are for like,
right?
Yeah, I had a huge range. It was like I had single flavors and double flavors as well. The best flavor that was moving was passion, pineapple passion, and strawberry. And another thing I would like to say, I actually wanted to keep it color free and essence free as well. But then until I added the color and the essence, the product didn't move.
Right.
Because our taste buds are so used to this coloring and this flavoring thing.
True. And what were the quantity sizes? Like, I mean, were they
1 liter tubs? I had 1 liter tubs, and my small cups were like 125 ml cups.
Right. And I mean, how were you producing it? Did you have like a sort of factory or?
No, I don't have a factory. Actually, I started in my house.
Right. So
my production is going. Yeah, I have a small machine in the house. So it's like at one go, I can make 4 liters. So like for a day, I make about 12 liters.
How long does the process take?
Maybe if I'm making 12 liters, maybe 2, 4, maybe 6 hours.
And where do you see your business in, like, let's say, after this lockdown is, after Corona disappears, if ever, where do you see
Yeah.
your business in about 5 years?
In a 5 years, like I'm like, my plan is to like so give it to hotels, and if I can open up like small outlets,
Boutique sort of thing.
yeah, things like that.
You definitely have to tell me what's the name of your brand.
It's Froyo Colombo, but I have actually deactivated all my social media pages and everything.
Okay, because I'm a huge fan, and like the little tubs you get at all these supermarkets are very expensive. You have like this much, and it's about 500. I think that's terrible. And like there's this another yogurt place I like at One Ball Face, again very expensive. So I mean, we are putting poison into our bodies after paying like a a substantial amount.
So I was like actually giving 125 ml for 250 rupees.
Right. No, I mean the price is again, like I said, value over price, right? It's not the price what you're getting from the product is what matters, right? Thank you, Nazia. That was very extremely interesting.
Thanks.
Okay. Right. So a proper pitch would have more numbers, of course, right? More facts, like more tests, and more like sort of advertising or people you have approached, things like that. But for a big, for someone who said, "Oh no, I don't think I can do it," that was very nice. That was very good.
Thank you.
Okay, right. Jude or Adiksha? Jude, Adiksha, can we do it now?
Not yet, ma'am, please.
Right. Okay. Arva?
Mine is partially ready, but I think I should be able to talk about it if it's okay.
You can talk about it now.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
okay.
Shall I start?
Yes.
Okay. With a growing community of consumers who are quality conscious and want to pay the price to make a statement, show their personality, and boost their self-esteem, Tresor Fine Artisan Jewelry was launched in 2013 to cater custom jewelry and accessories for men, women, and children in precious metals and semi-precious stones. Our company has grown from a small home-based business through word of mouth, and we cater to people who want jewelry as an emotional investment. That is our main selling point, where we specialize in catering to pieces designed specially for custom needs. And I do offer my clients a special one-to-one with them to know their requirements and then design a piece for them, which I believe a lot of jewelers here don't offer. And so at the end of it, a person does own a unique piece that is a statement for themselves and their personality. And with a guarantee. So my pitch would be as an investor, for an investor, that on a weekly basis, even during the pandemic, I've been getting a guaranteed 3 orders a week. And there's an assured 20% return on each order. The investment is a smaller grade. I can't talk numbers right now. I haven't figured it out, but I'm just going with the flow. So there's a 20% profit margin on each order, and it's a guaranteed return. It's something that has been customized for a person, and there's no loss there because this is something that is going to keep generating an income. It's not like it's going to be a dead investment. So my pitch would be that to grow the business in a sense where I could have a website where people could approach me online and have a one-to-one online wherever they are in the world, because I do supply or rather courier it abroad to any part of the world on insurance. And with the kind of word of mouth I have received and the trust I have established with the clients, my brand has the potential to reach out to a better audience and a bigger audience. And that's my main, I would say, the main aim of branching out. I know it's a short pitch, but
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
this is what my
So-
main pitch target would be.
Right. Okay. So who would your ideal investor be? Who would you like?
An ideal investor would be someone who understands how much personal jewelry or a monogram piece of jewelry or something about their own personality statement is. The person who understands something like that would be the ideal investor, because only if you are able to how do you say, relate to this emotion, would you be able to readily invest for it. Because for some people it's like, okay, just buy whatever, it's not one of those things. So yeah,
Okay. So
you
we
should be
discussed.
emotionally involved with the whole idea.
That's right. Okay. So some of these questions that I asked Nazria, I already talked with you about with you on the first day, right? How you're attracting customers and all that. And yeah. So if, let's say, you need a sort of an exit pathway in the future, something happens. Are you ready for that, or what do you have? Do you have anything in place? Like, sometimes the business can't be, you can't continue the business. So if that ever happens, do you have an exit strategy? Or
an exit strategy, see, since it's jewelry and my stock is only silver, but it still can be liquidized easily because there's always a demand for bespoke pieces. So there are enough of people who would be ready to buy it off the rack. And that's something I think shouldn't be a problem. And another thing is that the value for precious metals, whether silver or gold or even gemstones, it has always increased. It has never depreciated. So whatever's in stock, which was say 2 years ago or even now, it's always going to increase in value rather than decrease. So nobody's going at a loss anywhere at that.
okay. And let's say, like, once this lockdown is over and the pandemic sort of dies away, and like in 5 years, where is your business? Where are you?
My business mainly grew was doing exhibitions and through word of mouth. So I would say my exhibition platform would be a bigger one, and I'm hoping to retail more online. And also bespoke services would be on, and I would be partnering up with a few boutiques in the future as well.
Right. So no plans for advertising? Like
advertising, I have been advertising on Instagram a bit, that is boosting the posts. But more than that, participating in high-end events is an advertisement by itself. And that, I think, creates better presence for a client, because they get to see the pieces by themselves and then be the judge of it, rather than just see it. Because these days, I mean, there are so many filters, so many tools used to, make or manipulate a certain piece of jewelry or anything else for that matter. So this way, when they see it in person, I think it has a bigger impact.
Okay. So I'm not too sure how that works, but I mean, you've been in the business for 8 years, so whatever you're doing must be right. You're still here and you're earning quite a good margin. So yeah. So I can't really ask any questions. Okay. So Adiksha or Jude. So I suppose what both Arwa and Nasria need are numbers, right? Because that makes your pitching more sort of, it's scientific, sort of like when you do sciences, if you don't have numbers, you really can't talk about it. There's no valid proof, right? Unlike in
the thing is, in my business, the numbers are very variable. Like now, somebody might want something for 3,000 rupees, the other wants something for 50,000 rupees.
Right. How do you? Is it the number of hours that go into making it that determines its value?
No, not only that. It's the amount of metal going in it. Maybe like now, currently, I'm working on something in white gold for a client. And I had the consultation yesterday. So I gave him an option of stones to choose from. So he wanted something blue for his fiance. And I gave him from shades of blue topaz to kyanite to blue sapphires. I gave him all the possible samples to go from, like to check which shade would he suit, what budget it goes for. Finally, he ended up going for a kyanite, which has the color of a blue sapphire, and it's a bigger stone compared to that of a blue sapphire for the same price, or rather a fraction of the price of a blue sapphire. And he's going for metal also. I gave him yellow gold, white gold options, and he's going for a 9-carat base because his budget is restrained. And so, you know, when you're giving those options to a client, then they can choose how much they're willing to spend. And then the end product will be based on that.
Right. Do you have like a proper sort of where you can show them that these numbers aren't being just, you know, produced out of your head? Do you have anything like solid that you can show?
Like now, when it comes to stones, each stone has a different value, frankly, because each stone has different clarities, different, you know, it's individual. It's not like it's, unless it's a calibrated stone, which are like mass manufactured of the same size, that is fine. But if it's an individual piece, which is, you know, like custom cut based on to get the maximum value of the stone, those prices are higher. So in those cases, I obviously guide the client. But where metal prices are concerned, it's a standard metal price that's for the day that's coming on the market. So those are not things that I can predict, but yeah, it has been increasing every day. And yeah, so there's no standard projection, but when the result is there, like say the product is ready, I do give my client a breakdown that, you know, you're paying so much for the gold, so much for the stone, so much for the labor, so much for whatever plating or whatever extra filigree or you know, extra setting charges have been. So I give them that breakdown, which jewelers here don't give. And so they know exactly where their money has gone.
Okay, Jude. Hello. Hi, Jude. Hello. Nice seeing you. I can see your mouth moving, but I can't hear you.
What are you doing? What is it? Similar, right?
I will mute you. Huh? Okay. Yes, Jude. Hello. Can't hear you, Jude. I'm sorry. Maybe log out and log in again?
Yeah, I'll try to do so.
Sometimes that helps. Now we have you, Jude.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, let's start. Jude?
Yeah, I'm trying to get into another. Hold on for a second. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
Much better, no? Okay, fine. I have already started this business, that is solar panel energy, supplying solar panel energy equipment, and I'm seeking 5 million rupees for that. And basically, for in return, I'll be giving share of 49% from my company. And for talking about solar panel, currently, I mean, we know that solar energy basically it comes from the sunlight and it's free. And also, it basically is a clean energy production, and there's an increased demand, and we can see that the currently with this scenario has been increased, and people are mostly the higher class, or the people are interested in moving up to green energy. And so coming back to the plan, and we'll be basically, as I said, we'll be basically supplying solar panels to the clients, and we'll be importing our panels from the Kubota, Japan, which they will give us 10-year guarantee and warranty on main components, and plus we'll be providing the after-sales services as well. And basically, the marketing and the financials will be basically we will require. I mean, currently I'm operating from my home, and we will require storage facility and an office. So we'll be spending 1 million rupees for that, and we will be spending another 1 million for the marketing project, which will be basically consist of providing marketing materials and starting up a website, and also doing FP campaigns as well. And the balance 3 million will be keeping it as the operational cost, and we will also will be get the Kubota. They will be providing us a $100,000 credit facility, where they will give us in return they will give us the components on credit line. And from talking about the unit, from the unit we will make about the cost will be 850,000 for a client. From a unit we will make 250,000 rupees as a net profit. And once we are expected to sell something like 10 to 20 units per month, and to do that we will be basically signing up with agreements with the financial institution. With the financial institution, they will be promoting our units, basically because they will be providing the financial or the credit line for the clients who require the solar panels. And we will also apart from that, we will also working with other companies, whereas like we do group sales kind of thing, where we can like sell these units to the people who work in hierarchy, higher positions, and people like manager position and above. So that is the sales plan, and as I said, we expect to sell something like 10 to 20 units per day, and per annually. For the 5 million rupee investment, there will be 1 million. Basically, it will be 20% of ROI for annually. They'll be getting, the investor will be getting it. And apart from that, the employees and myself, talking about myself and the employee, myself, I'll be working as CEO. And currently, I have experience of 10 years in the bank, and where I have worked 10 years at a private leading bank. Then I have another 5 years as a sales manager and 2 years as a head of marketing and 1 year as a CEO. And I also currently have a marketing manager who looks after my marketing and who has basically a lot of experience in insurance industry, where they have like one-to-one meetings with the client, so they can basically he can do the handle the sales part also. And I have a coordinating officer where that person will be coordinating with the banks and the financial institutions to basically that person is working with the credit officers who will be providing the loan. So in he'll be that person is encouraging credit officers to canvas more units for us in behalf of us. Basically, they also with the agreements that the financial institutions are making a profit of it. And also I have 10 people who's working for installation and after sales service. So that is the plan. And yes, that is the plan for my solar panel service company.
Thank you. Now, so you are using future tense a lot. Does that mean you haven't still started it, or are you still thinking about it?
No, sorry, yes. I have already started it, and I could mention that I already started it. And off the record, this is just a story off the record. But I already started it, and I already sold about 50 units for about within about 6 months of time. And with the expansion, I can sell, as I said, I can sell 10 to 20 units per month once I do my agreements and once I do my marketing and the sales, marketing projects properly.
Right. So what's special about your solar product? I mean, solar panels compared to the others?
Yeah, compared to others, basically my solar panel, I'm importing this film from Japan directly, and they basically, other units, they don't get a 10-year warranty, but in my units, I'll be giving a 10-year warranty because it's backed up by Kubota Japan. So that is the specialty, and as well as the service, because like I'll be providing the service free of charge. And any within the warranty period, I'll be basically providing the units as well with the help of Kubota. So that is the special, because like most of the company, they will provide you only with the 5 years of warranty period.
So your after sales services are also free of charge?
Yes, of course, yes.
Okay, and do you have like a mandatory servicing this thing, like every 6 months you have to get it serviced or something like that?
Yes, every once a year we do a free service, but apart from that, if there's any breakdowns or any kind of damage, anything, we will be providing the service for that. But that will be yes.
Okay, so this once a year service is again free of charge.
Free
so
of charge,
what's
yeah.
like what's the normal range of solar panel in the current Sri Lankan market? You said the 85,000, right?
Currently, this unit is 5 megawatt unit. We basically, this is enough for a sorry. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's a 5 megawatt unit, and basically it's for domestic purposes only. And it goes around between 850,000 to not more than 900,000 in the market.
Right. No, I mean, what are the, like, are there any other comparable solar panels? And if so, what are their prices?
Basically, we have 3 megawatt, but that is not enough for domestic purposes. But the 5 megawatts, most of the other competitors also, what they sell it to the domestic purposes. And as the price range, as I said, it's basically hanging around between 850,000 to 900,000 with all the other companies as well. The edge we have is the warranty we provide. That is because we provide a 10-year warranty from the Kubota Japan together with Kubota Japan.
Right. Okay. And what exactly are your areas of where are you currently established? Sort of, what are the areas?
Where currently I have been established in Western Province only, but with the help of this investment and with the agreements that I'm trying to make with the financial institution, this will go all island.
Right. So who's your ideal investor?
Ideal investor would be a person who understands the green energy and the green technology, because like this is basically, we can't say it's a future, but this is the way to the future of Sri Lanka, because like mostly we are dealing like most of the electricity produced using diesel, petrol, and diesel, and with that this electricity which is generated by the solar panel, it comes basically free, and it's freely available, and so there'll be there'll be a reduction of global warming as well, because with the help of we are using solar power, solar electricity.
Okay. Apart from that, what I felt was, I don't know if it's the phone connection, or I think you can maybe work a bit more on your vocal projections and body gestures. Now, I didn't see Nazria and Arva either most of the time, but their voices.
Basically, the issue is that I'm having a small issue because I'm having a small issue because like we're having a bad weather and the signals are not clear.
Yeah.
So those disturbances are there, so it's a bit hard to
Anyway, just
deliver a good pitch.
Yeah, just think about how you can be a bit more interesting in the way you present, because for me, some parts are monotonous.
Yes.
Right?
Because like normally what I do is like, even when I go for a insurance meeting also, what I do is I practice about 10-15 times before I go for a meeting. But here just it's a raw thing, and I just made up the story. I don't put it as an excuse, but if I could practice about for about a couple of times, then I could have given a good pitch.
Understood. The other thing is, you shouldn't practice too often either, because then the naturalness of your voice goes. So right now your naturalness was on like perfect, but that there was a bit of a rambling sort of, where you would like go on and talk about things that are not clearly necessary for a pitch. But again, like you said, because you didn't practice, of course, I understand. But this naturalness was on par, right? So that you shouldn't lose that naturalness when you're presenting. Sometimes what happens is people practice so much, they become like very robotic, and the way they present is not as natural and as free flowing as yours. Okay, right. Arva, you seem to have unmuted. Anything to add?
Basically, when I do presentations also.
Jude, we can't hear you.
Sorry, what?
No,
Hello?
Jude was saying something in the middle when you were asking me.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Jude, are you all right? Is there anything else to add?
Yeah, I said something, but I can't remember. I think I'm having a bad day because I have a bad signal. It's been difficult.
Yeah, you were appearing and disappearing. Yeah, probably by tomorrow it will be better.
True.
Anyway, Nazria, is there anything? No,
Hopefully,
tomorrow.
yes.
Like for me, of course, all three of my Wi-Fi connections are rather it will be rebooted now. So tomorrow it's going to be fine. But today it's going to be a struggle. But weather-wise, I'm not so sure. Nazria, what about you? anything to add? Anything that you'd like to tell the others, or anything you'd like to tell me, or anything?
Actually, I have
Anything?
nothing. I have nothing because I have never done a sales pitch. So this was like a totally new thing for me.
Okay, right. So hope this was slightly, at least slightly useful for you all. Okay, right. Then, yeah, I think that wraps it up for the day. So not for the day, I mean for this course, this is the last time I'll be seeing y'all. So all the best. How many modules do you have remaining?
Another 4, I think.
How many have you
Excluding
done?
the assignment. We've done the marketing and business plan, and then yours, business English. This is the second module.
So, second module, and have 4 left. Right. So all the best for
Thank you so much,
this
Maltani.
course, as well as all your entrepreneurial, I'm not too sure, your business ventures, everything. And stay safe. All the best. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Marshani.
I'm having a new collection launch most likely at the end of next month. So I'll invite you guys out.
Bye.